Some of them think we're dumb enough to believe that 95% of us are going to pay less in taxes despite an unprecedented historical run-up in wasteful spending. Well, guess what? We know better, and we're not going to let it happen. I'll tell you something, you know, the biggest threat that we face as a nation, we've got serious threats overseas. They haven't gone away, and we need to be prepared to defend ourselves against them. But an even bigger threat, you know, Al-Qaeda can't defeat America. The biggest danger that we face is losing a sense of who we are.
Yes. Right.
Losing an appreciation for what made us the greatest country in the history of this planet. And being unwilling to fight to defend those principles. That's the biggest danger that we face. Make no mistake about it, what is happening in Washington today is an unprecedented and frightening lurch to the left. This is a very conscious, systematic, aggressive effort to transform America from the great, free, and independent nation that we've been into a big government, liberal, European-style welfare state. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be France. This approach of serial bailouts. Let's bail out anything that's broke. Let's bail out anything that's just not working. This is absolutely wrong. It's wrong to force American taxpayers to be unwilling investors in failing companies, and it's wrong to waste our resource on failing business models. We need to bring an end to the bailouts now. And as if that weren't bad enough, the spending that is taking place is absolutely staggering. It is unsustainable. It is very dangerous. Let's just take one example. This outrageous stimulus bill, the so-called stimulus, the real porculus bill. Porculus! Let me just share with you, just to think about how enormous this bill is. Over $800 billion. You know how big a number that is? If you started spending $1 million a day, and you spent $1 million a day, 365 days of the year, and you started spending those $1 million on the day that Jesus Christ was born, and you spent it every single day, every single year since then through this morning, you still wouldn't have spent as much money as they spent in a single bill without having read it first. That is outrageous. The fact is, they spend nearly $1 trillion of money we don't have to buy things we don't need, to saddle our kids with debt that they can't afford. And that's wrong. Now, I've got to tell you candidly that Pennsylvania played a unique role in making that possible. Because the senior senator from Pennsylvania, Arlen Specter, Specter's active efforts to cooperate and help in this big lurch to the left is the main reason why I am now a candidate for the United States. Thank you very much. These politicians in Washington, including Arlen Specter, they either don't know or they don't care about what it is that made this the greatest country in the history of the world. I'm afraid you're right. The fact is, when you think about it, when we went from being a third world colonial backwater to the richest, greatest, most powerful land of more opportunity and benevolence than the world had ever seen. We didn't do it by relying on big government and transferring wealth. We did it relying on the strength of the individual, relying on personal freedom, free enterprises. Americans are willing to take risks, and Americans have demonstrated that we know the path to success. No country has been able to match what we've accomplished, but we did it by holding on to these principles. Let me tell you something. I think it's time that somebody in Washington stand up for the people who make America work, and that's not the politicians. That's the people who get up every morning and go to their jobs. Those are the people who pay their own bills, and they pay all the other bills in this country. It's time to stand up for the people who pay the bills. join me in this effort. I need you to come to my website, ToomeyForSenate.com. Come to my website, sign up, volunteer for this. Help us take this government back. Contribute what you can. This is going to be a long, hard battle, but we're going to win this because we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of this effort, and America will always win. Thank you very much for all your support.